Sherwood run stop. We have him right here. He's over Carl Lawson, or is outside of Carl Lawson. Let's see. Okay, so one thing is even for his size, he's not the biggest dude in the world, 225, 230, 235. Between that range, he definitely plays with some violence and some power. We also like his length for sure. I'm not saying in this play specifically, but he definitely has some interesting traits. We could see him squeeze down right here. A lot of movement inside of the offensive line, so he wants to squeeze down. He doesn't want to, leave any big gaps, so he squeezes down the line of scrimmage, pinches it. Now, obviously, 40 is coming out to block him. Sherwood actually doesn't in terms of how he takes this on. It's actually not the best with his hands. You want to see his hands be a little bit closer together, and you want to see him get a little bit lower. He does get the benefit of number 40 doesn't get his hands on. It's a little bit off balance. Coming into the block with his head dipped. Now, I do like the core strength of Sherwood. That once he's engaged again, not a good spot to be engaged in terms of like, hey, the guy's lower than you, his hands are inside of you, not ideal. But post that point, obviously uses torque and right hand into the ribs, torques him, is able to square up Tony Pollard and make a tackle. So you see the physicality, you see him not being afraid of contact. He gets caught in the chin here, not necessarily what you want to happen, but he brushes it off, no problem. He brushes it off, no problem, and then makes a tackle. Um, Wood stand up puller. Okay. So we have Sherwood right here. I'm assuming the guard is going to pull. Oh, center pulls. But on the front side, the tackle pulls. Okay. And again, consider that this guy is 200, let's just say 230, 235, in that range. I don't think he's 225 still, but again, aggressive, coming downhill, squeeze the run, take on that outside shoulder, force the run back inside, which typically you're going to do on the outside like that. Squeezes the run, takes on the defender with his inside shoulder. They stand each other up, gets his hands inside, eyes the running back, gets low, and hops back Y to get separation and leverage. Hop back, separation and leverage. Get underneath of the block, and then just get that right arm out there to make a play on the running back. You know, again, standing up a tackle right here, doing a good job. Getting that inside arm free. Good job with his eyes, getting his eyes inside to take on or be partially a part of the tackle on Pollard. Would beat touchdown. Okay. He's right here. Against 86. I think it's Ferguson, right? Just lacks a little bit of athleticism. So here, off the jump, if you're in press here, what do we not want to do? We do not want to jump split. He's not balanced here at all. Okay. Then his hands are wide. He gets extension. He's looking for the run. Realizes at this moment, oh crap, it's not a run, it's a pass, and then he just has to chase down 86. But he's not the best athlete in the world, right? Like there are some things that let's say Tony Adams, or not even Tony Adams, let's say Quincy Williams, same position. Quincy Williams at times may play a little bit erratically with technique or even like his eyes, but he's so damn athletic that it does not matter. With a guy like Sherwood, he's not the most athletic guy in the world, so he has to be pretty perfectly technically. So just that quarter of a second delay looking at Prescott lost him this rep. That and yeah, if you got better control on the inside, maybe he's a little bit better balanced instead of getting so wide, those things contribute as well. But the number one part of that was the fact that he looked back at Dak and didn't just follow the tight end. Obviously you got to follow your threat. Got to feel that out. Wood stuff. Okay, he's right here over the tight end. Okay, now obviously this is a short yardage type situation, and all the gaps are filled. This might be a two-way go. He might be two gapping. Gap filled, gap accounted for, gap. I'm sure there's something coming off the side right here. Yep, something coming off the side right there. Blitz with sauce. So Sherwood has to knife inside to that C gap or to that C gap. He does so. Makes it tough. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to stop it. But again, he plays with a lot of violence. They have to like that. Have to like it. Again, take on that inside shoulder, take on half the man, rip, take on half the man, get nice and low, rip, Eyes on the running back. Eyes on the running back. Make the tackle. Right. That's just decisive. That's not a decisiveness because he had to do that, but it's just power and effort. Keep driving the feet. Keep driving the feet. Keep the eyes up. Look for the running back. Make that tackle. Wood held. Oh my God. Yeah, we know this one, right? This was one of the worst holding calls I've ever seen. That was not called. 44, obviously, right? Filling that B gap. Um, so hit for him, he obviously shuffles, right? He's just reading the play. He sees the puller, right? So now you have down blocks and you have puller. So whether it be play action or just the rollout, whatever it may be, um, Sherwood knows that he's most likely he's getting down blocked to block him out of the play. So what does he want to do? He wants to get over top. Now, with this being said, again, do we want maybe better hand placement? Do we want it onto the shoulder, even into the ribs and torque him away from us? Sure. Do we like it landing, so wide? Not necessarily, but he still uses core strength, torques him out of the way, torques Donovan Smith out of the way, right? And could be there to make a play on the running back, but he's literally dragged to the like dragged to a 180. And then you have Donovan Smith, who drags him, making forcing him to do a 180. He also grabs his ankle, literally is hugging his ankle, and is trying to turn his ankle to get him down on the ground. No, there's no holding here. No holding. Big touchdown around Chiefs. Oh, Taylor Swift, the NFL is so happy. It should be a fucking 10-yard penalty. It should be on their own 45. The penalty against Sauce. Bullshit. The no penalty against JJ. Bullshit. This game was such horseshit. Such horseshit. Tackle for loss. He's right here on the hash, on the far hash. Just taking on blocks with physicality. That's already a trend through 6 plays of this. You know, Obviously you have the crack from the tight end right there. You have the pulling guard, or sorry, the pulling tackle and the fullback leading. You have Sherwood, who is trying to fill here. He fills. He does a good job taking the run on with the outside shoulder, but because it plays with such aggression, sorry, and leverage, he pops up Garrett Bowles and literally moves this man, another 330-pound man, whatever, a yard and a half or 2 yards, out of the way. Can fill that, squeeze the run, nice and low, pop up Garrett Bowles, a solid yard, a yard and a half, maybe even 2 yards. Knows the run is going inside at this point, uncovers that outside arm, or the inside arm. Hell of a job filling right there. The aggression he takes on that block, he's not afraid of contact at all. At all. He likes it. Um, Sherwood stand up puller. Okay. He's right here off the edge. So there's really not much to this one. It's just showing his strength for a guy who's, again, 230 pounds, let's just say. And he's taking on the left. Is the left tackle Mailata? I think he's like a massive man. You could tell he's huge. I think it's Mailata. I'm not the best with like names and that. Sometimes I'm a little bit spacey with that, but takes on the block. Outside shoulder versus inside, or sorry, inside shoulder versus outside shoulder, squeezing the run or forcing a wide track. Squeezes it. Swift bounces it really wide, and Sherwood was going to be there in pursuit. But it's a good job standing up a huge left tackle. He's outweighed there by 100, literally 100 pounds, and he stands him up. All right. Wood PD. Okay. He's right here. Left edge now. So now a situation where he's blitzing. He's blitzing off the edge. Obviously, not going to be the best pass rusher in the world. We're 72 right here. We do like the fact that at least he uses his length. He lays his hands inside. Now he stacks them, waiting to see if it's a run. It's not a run. He tries to transition into a pass rush. It's obviously not really going to work. He kind of gears it down right off the jump. Sees O'Connell loading up to throw the ball, leap and get into his throwing window. Tip that ball. Exactly what he does. Again, come off the edge hard, read if it's a run or a pass. Okay, it's a pass. I'm not going to win this rep. Let me get my hands up and deflect that ball. Sorry. Uh, Sherwood versus screen right here. Looks like he's probably, yeah, he's probably in the curl. He's in the curl the flat right here. Maybe he's just the hook the seam or the hook the curl. If Sauce was like a cloud or something like that. Nonetheless, doesn't really matter so much. Drops back as he's dropping back. He's seeing blocking motion in terms of like him coming off the line at a slowed pace, stalking Sherwood, taking a direct angle to him. He feels that it's a screen, looks back at the quarterback, confirms the screen, takes on the blocker with good leverage. Good leverage. Again, we want those hands to be closer together. His hands are a little bit wild in terms of the placement, but leverage wins. Fills on the outside, fills on the outside, gets his outside arm free, makes a tackle on, or at least gets a piece of Devontae, which drags him down. Can drop back. He's getting to his exit angle, getting into his exit angle. Sees the slow like the thing is like when I'm doing it like this, it looks like it should all be really like, it's all very slow. When you actually look at it and he takes like one step, he literally takes like one and a half steps before he realizes, hey, this is probably a screen. You see how quick his eyes get to the inside. Quick inside eyes, get up the field, blow up the blocker, get in on the tackle. All good. Sherwood runs another screen. Okay. Big red arrow over his face. We see him. All right, he's a weak side linebacker here. Now he goes to fill the run, realizes, oh, it's not a run, drops back into coverage. As he's dropping back in coverage, I'll show you his eyes flash to the running back and he sees the running back, out on the screen.